Alright guys, I want to show you this deck today. This deck is called Foretell Free Spell. This is a really strong deck that I've made here. You gotta know straight off the bat that this is for Nico Eris. Nico is one of those planeswalkers that you kind of can buy, and it seems like he's a themed planeswalker where he'll have a theme to him. In this case, you'll see that his theme could be some of those cards that came out in Kaldheim, namely the Foretell things that are there. You can kind of see that going, but I would say that this is more than one of those themed planeswalkers. This is actually what I would like to call a countdown planeswalker, because if you have an ability like this that's super strong, you're able to use that and help you to win matches just by triggering that, right? So a lot of times we're going to try to build a deck that suits that ability right here, the glimpse of the multiverse, and once we're able to hit that, we should win. So really the game just becomes a countdown for however long it takes for you to hit this ability, and hopefully you're going to be putting pieces together on the board that allow us to win as soon as we hit that. Right, so it's possible that you can use Nico Eris here as a planeswalker even now that Kaldheim has gone out of the rotation and into Legacy. Alright, so here's some of the cards that I've placed in this deck. As I mentioned, this is called Foretell Free Spell. This deck is a Legacy deck at this point, and I'd say that this is one of those really fun decks to play because you're going to get a ton of free stuff. Alright, and the reason we want free stuff is it says here, Glimpse of the Multiverse, it's our big finishing move. Your creatures gain unblockable and get XX and are reinforced Y times. X is the number of cards in your hand, and Y is the number of cards in your hand with full mana. So we're going to try to build up to this. It kind of looks like we're going to be able to, based on all the cards. I'll show you what I mean. It's going to help us to build up a full hand that's got fully paid off everything, right? And that's going to make this a really good deck, a really strong deck. The key cards here, of course, are Uvilda. Uvilda, her important part here is if this card is not invoked at the beginning of your turn, each token support loses 1 shield. So that's going to take away 1 shield from all of these different tokens that you'll set up. These tokens will be, of course, Foretell tokens, and you'll take off a shield every turn. Here's another one, Sage of the Beyond. It says here at the beginning of your turn, your Foretold tokens lose 1 shield. That's also important because we're going to start dropping these shield counts on these very good cards, right? So you'll see there's some here, Depart the Realm, Raven Form, those are really basic defense kind of cards. Kyle's Onslaught is a great offensive card. He'll be able to take off the shields from these supports really quickly. Tales of the Ancestors, a really good card here too. It just kind of helps you to put things into your hand. And one thing I want to bring up is Mind Shrieker. Mind Shrieker is really good when we play a Foretold deck. The part that I like here is this bottom part. It says when you cast a Foretold card or a Foretold non-token card enters into play under your control, destroy the first creature card from target player's library. Then this creature gets XX until the end of turn. X is that card's base mana. So when we play a Foretold card or we put one of those into play, we're going to be able to pick either my deck or my opponent's deck and get rid of a creature from there. At that point, you'll get XX, and X, of course, is whatever the base mana. I like to use that ability on my opponent a lot of times because you want to get rid of their creatures. You want to make it hard for them to get creatures, to draw creatures, and that's one of the best ways you can control a game. Make sure that you don't have any creatures to oppose you, and of course, as I mentioned, that's one way. Right, so let's see what we can do. Hopefully we can have a really good showing here. You guys can see what this deck is all about. Raven Form, it's a good card. It says here we got the ability, the Foretold, so we'll discard it. It's gonna be able to put a nice token there on the board. Okay, here we go. I like when we start off and it's nice and we got a good double swap kind of a thing going on. It's always good to have that as a first swap. Okay, so the opponent's got a card. Alright, this is an important card, Sage of the Beyond. As I mentioned, we really like this card. We really want to get this card down because that's going to help take off some of those shields for us. Now, if you're wondering, this is what Nico Eris has. It's pretty good with all of these colors here. Of course, you don't want to go green. And if you got the blue or the white, you're going to get that extra bonus of 5. So that's real nice. So don't go green. Use the blue. Use the white. And if you can't, then yeah, just do what you got to do. Okay, here we go. Raven form is another good one here. We can play Raven form again. What we'll do is we'll move them up. We don't want to hit this exile button here because it'll exile the Raven form card without putting another token because you have that token here already. So we won't do that. Oh, look at that. That's cool. Got another nice swap. There we go. Alright, so we were hoping they wouldn't do that, but yeah, they did. So, okay, we're making some moves. Mock Sapphire, great card. We'll put that second. Mock Sapphire, I'm sure a lot of you guys know, those are one of those PMA cards that you just really want to collect. Those ones, of course, you'll set up a mana field, and anytime you hit that mana field, you'll be able to cast a creature or a card, whatever the first thing is in your hand. You can see over here, the first blue card in your hand gets full mana, so we're going to want to put that down. Okay, let's see what we can do. What I'm thinking is we'll go with this, and we'll see right there, we can put another cascade together. At this point, we have our third ability, so it's really great that we're able to do that. We can launch it right now if we wanted, but the problem is we're gonna only have just basically 3 cards in the hand, 4 by the time we are able to use this, and it's not gonna really give us that punch that we're looking for. So we're gonna hold on, we're gonna see if we can turn the tide with these guys that are attacking us, and you can see right there how that's gonna happen. The ability that the Sage has is quite awesome. That Sage is pretty awesome. He allows us to, Sage will be on here and destroy those 4-toed shields that are on the token. I'll put this guy into the graveyard because he's going to be able to come back for us. Alright, Kaya's Onslaught, that's another one. We'll put that into the graveyard as well. So as you notice, I've been clicking, right? It says when you foretell a card, destroy the first creature card from target player's library. Then this creature gains all of the creature's basic evergreens. That's kind of important. So we're clicking. We're trying to keep that opponent away from the battlefield. We don't want to have those creatures come in. All right. We can launch Raven form, but we're gonna wait. At this point, we're gonna say no. We're gonna probably have to do that next turn because our Mind Shrieker here is getting weak. But here we go. We're doing good. We're still ahead of the game here. Prismatic Bridge, that's a really good card. We can launch that Raven form. See, the thing is, I would like to hit the Raven form. I'd like to launch that, throw the that big creature, that Scrap Heap Scrounger, I believe is called. Yep, Scrap Heap Scrounger. We want to throw that back into the hand if possible. Looks like we're going to be able to destroy that if he throws on a card because you'll have a piece there. But it says here, exile target opposing creature. We'll be able to use that on the Scrap Heap Scrounger, and then this will help us out a lot with our ability to just do tons of damage. You know what? Let's give it a shot now. Let's hit it now. We'll see how it looks. Alright, there you go. It's pretty tough. It's pretty strong right now. That's what you see with this deck a lot. You'll power up your creatures. They'll become big and strong. Kind of more so than you realize. Right, we'll hit the Raven form on our opponent's biggest creature. Use this ability to give XX. There we are. And then we'll hit the double strike. There you guys go. You can see how that one just jumped out of control real fast. Alright, so that's what I like about this deck. You can just build up your creatures really, really strong. And you kind of can tell in my voice that I wasn't really expecting it to do that, right? And that's the strength of this deck. It just builds power really, really fast. Okay, so I hope you guys liked the video. Of course, hit the like and subscribe, and give us some love. You know, guys, we want to help out the channel. We want to help out you guys. We want to build a community here that everybody helps everybody, right? So we need your support. Like and subscribe, and that goes a long way. All right, folks. Good gaming.